Hi everyone, how you going? I hope everyone's well. On today's episode, guys, we're going to be making sandwich bread. It'll last you at least 4 to 5 days. That's if it lasts you 4 or 5 days, because it probably get eaten in the first hour. But yeah, so on with the show, and we'll show you the ingredients, what we're going to be needing. All right, so first of all, we're going to need a baking dish. This is a perfect dish for what we're going to need today. We've also got our flour, we've got our dried yeast, and we've got some salt, and naturally the old trusty Kenwood mixer. So let's get on with the show. Okay, so first of all, let's get 4 cups of flour, 2, 3. All right, get that out of the way. So we've got 4 cups of flour. Now I've got the dried yeast. There's a flat tablespoon and about a half. So 1.5 flat tablespoons of dried yeast. Now we're just going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. Bang, that should do it. Right, so next is to add, straight from the tap, we just need some lukewarm water, as in like room temperature. So we don't need it too hot, we don't need it too cold. So what I'll do, I'm just going to pour 2 in for now. Okay. Now I'll just keep that one on the side. So I'll get this mixer going. Sorry if there's a little bit of noise, guys, but so we're just going to start it off slow, get that mixed in. Now we're just going to add about half of that water. Now what we're actually looking for is a doughy consistency, but not too hard, but not too soft. Somewhere sort of in between, going on to soft. Alright, so next, let me get another tool. Just want to make sure that I've got everything nice and well mixed, so just going to give that a bash like that. That's fine. Alright, just a little bit more. There we go. How quick was that? So maybe a minute of mixing. Alright, our next step is pretty much to basically Take all this off. Alright guys, so we've taken it out of that bowl to be washed. I've just put it in a stainless steel bowl, doesn't matter what bowl you've got. So that's pretty much the consistency what we're looking at. As you can see, if I can get you in the light, it's moving, but it's not too wet, but it's not too firm. So all we're going to do now is we'll put a bit of Glad wrap on top of that. Poke a nice little hole. And I'll sit that up here on the stove. So pretty much I've got it there, just sitting there. By the way, I've got a nice pork casserole stew going here. And that's what that bread will be for today. So yeah, so like I said, that's pretty much it. Put it in there. Now we'll let it rest for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. So while we've got it resting there, guys, when you go to the Coles, Woolworths, or wherever, or whatever little, wherever you are, Aldi's around the world, or in Australia, wherever, in Australia, most places, for a sandwich loaf, 650, 680 grams, you're paying around $4.50 to $5 Australian, which is quite expensive. I've calculated making this loaf, it's going to cost you in the cents about 75 cents. So a little bit of yeast, salt, I wouldn't even add the cost of the salt, and it's pretty much the flour, and you've got your water, time and effort. Too easy to make. Why would you want to go and pay $4.50 to $5 every day or every second day just to get bread when you can make it and it's better and it's got no preservatives? When you read a bread in the plastic, you read on the side and you go, my God, what are all these things? Never ever heard of these before. And all these gums and emulsifiers and additives and colouring, preservatives. Make your own bread, you know what's in it. Flour, water, salt, yeast. So, yep, like I said, we'll just wait and we'll get to the next step. Like I said, trust me, it's easy, and we'll see you back in 45 minutes. All right, so we've had 45 minutes or so to an hour. Our dough has risen to that. As you can see, it's got a nice little wobble to it. So all we're going to do at this stage, we'll take the Glad wrap off, the wrapping, plastic wrap. And before we proceed to put it into this container, we'll just lubricate the dish. Just makes it a lot easier for it to come out. Okay, so that's there. So all we've got to do now is pretty much drop our dough straight in. Just a bit more oil on your hands just to be able to move it around without that sticking. All right, that's quite it. Simple, done. that will move into place itself. So what we're going to do now, we're going to let that rest for about another 25 minutes. That will rise again, and we'll put the oven on, and we'll start cooking. It's that simple. All right, so we had put our dough into the tray. It's risen up to that much now, as you can see it. Perfect. So all we're going to do now is just pop a little bit of flour on the top. And into the oven it will go. Okay, so as you can see now, we've got our bread in the oven. It'll take approximately 40 minutes at 180. I'll just show you up there. There we are, 180. And yeah, so what we'll do now, we'll just let that, it will rise more and it'll just cook perfectly, and we'll come back as soon as that is ready. All right, guys, so we've got our bread. We've taken it out of the oven. Now all we've got to do is take this out. Oh, that's hot. That is very hot. So that's pretty much, look at that. Can you get any better than that? So all we're going to do now is pretty much let that cool down. We're not leaving it on here. We're putting it over the sink because the air will come through it. If you leave it on here, although you're putting it on a cooling tray, you will still find that it'll get moist underneath. So we want to keep it dry. But yeah, so that's it. Now there's only one thing to do. Give it 10-15 minutes, let it cool down a bit, and then we'll give it the nice taste test. But like I said, if you look at that, you're pretty much got a kilo of bread for way under $1 compared to $4.50, $5 for a loaf of bread full of preservatives and additives from the supermarket. So yeah, too good. All right, so we'll come back in another 10 minutes once that's cooled down, and we'll give it a try. All right, guys, so our bread's cooled down. I've just taken a couple of nice little slices. I should be doing this on a cutting board, but that's our bread. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice little crust on the outside, nice and moist. Just absolutely perfect. Nice and fluffy. You can't go wrong. Now there's only one thing to do now is let's put a little bit of butter on this. All right, so our bread is done. Oh, nice, soft, crunchy, a little bit on the outside, perfect. Here you go. My dog loves a bit of buttered bread. Yeah, so that's it, guys. It's quite simple to make and economical. A little bit of time and effort, and even at that part, it's not a great deal of time and effort. So, but anyway, that's it for this episode of Cooking with the Chief. And again, like always, if you like what you see, please share, like, and subscribe. And if you got any comments, drop a comment in the comment section by all means. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Beautiful.